Hello, dancers. This is April Rose. Today, I'm sharing 5 pros and cons of being a professional belly dancer. I've been working as a professional belly dancer for 20 years in many different capacities through gigging at restaurants and private events, by touring with a big dance company, the Belly Dance Superstars, by directing a large dance studio with many teachers and renters, and directing several dance companies, by teaching at other people's studios, by teaching and performing at conventions and festivals in over 20 countries. I've done a lot of that. And most recently, by running an online content and course creator business where I teach my own dance format and teacher training program while giving current and aspiring belly dancers the practical skills needed to create a sustainable and enjoyable dance career. There are so many pros to doing this work of being a professional dancer, but there are also some cons. So let's get real about that. I bet some of these things I'm going to say today may surprise you. But before we get into that, I want to tell you that I have a brand new private masterclass going live this Thursday, April 25th. In this free masterclass, I'm going to be showing you what is working for professional belly dancers now in 2024. This masterclass will be available to everyone who has been accepted to the all-new Cohesion Collective. That's my teacher training and performance development program for current and aspiring professional belly dancers. So to get your access to that class, make sure to fill out your application before Thursday, April 25th. That's in just a couple days. So go do it right now. Go fill out your application right now. It only takes 2 minutes. There's no obligation to join. I just want to hear about your background and what your specific goals are so that I can know if I feel confident that I can help you reach those goals and if we're a good fit to work together. And you're going to fill out that application at www.thecohesioncollective.com. Thecohesioncollective.com. Okay, the day the masterclass goes live in just a couple days, we will also be opening the doors to the all-new Cohesion Collective. That's my comprehensive, customizable program where we teach you everything you need to grow a successful belly dance career, fueled by a high level of technical skill, deep knowledge, improvisation, choreographic composition, effective teaching, and entrepreneurial know-how. The program includes all 3 stages of the dance cohesion courses and teacher trainings, a super high level of support. You get tons of feedback. You're going to grow so quickly with all of these strategies and methods. And we have so much more, tons of bonus content, all about the nitty-gritty insider information you're going to need as you build your dance career. So check out all that the brand new Cohesion Collective includes at thecohesioncollective.com. And while you're there, just take 2 minutes to file your application, and I'll be happy to send you the link to this brand new masterclass where I'm going to be sharing lots of practical and inspiring information. Okay, now let's get into today's topic. Let's start with the 5 pros of being a professional belly dancer, and then I'm going to move into 5 cons of being a professional belly dancer. So the number 1 pro is that you get to make your own schedule. Imagine that every day you wake up and you get to decide what you will do and in what order, when you're going to take a break, if you're going to do it, at your house, at a coffee shop, in your space, at a studio. This is especially awesome for people who have other commitments. Maybe you're a caretaker, maybe you're a parent, maybe you have another job. You can work around other priorities in your life as you build your career as a professional dancer. It's so flexible. You can be a night owl or a morning person or something in between. For example, night owls might have more nightclub gigs on their schedule. Morning people might have more daytime classes or performances at markets and fairs on their schedule. Now, if you're teaching at a festival or a convention or you're on tour, this flexible schedule is a little different because there's a fixed schedule that the event producer arranges, whether that's like the tech time for the show or, the time you're teaching your workshop. But you can also have clear contract stipulations before the event that outline what times you will and won't teach or perform or practice, etc. So even that can also be working with your biology and preferences. It's amazingly flexible to what you and your body and energy level need. Okay, the second pro is that you get to work with amazing people. Whether the people are your students, your creative collaborators, or event producers who've hired you, or clients who've hired you, you get to nurture fun and enjoyable working creative relationships. In a lot of jobs, you're forced to work with people you don't particularly like. And that can still happen in this industry, but most of the time, I truly enjoy and are inspired by the connections that I make. I get the pleasure of choosing who to work with and to what extent I work with them. And I get to be surrounded by my friends and mentors and colleagues and students that inspire me every day and remind me what's important. And I get to build meaningful relationships with those people. And it's been one of the best aspects of this work. A third pro of this job as a professional dancer is that moving your body is a built-in part of your job. So while there are sit-down aspects of the job, trust me, there is computer work related to client communication, contract negotiation, student organization, costuming labor when you sit down and you work on a costume, or putting together playlists for your next gig or your next class, as well as doing online marketing and outreach. You know, all that stuff does require some computer work or some stationary or sit down time. You always have an excuse to take breaks from sitting and looking at a screen, to go dance, go work out, or go stretch. It's a necessary part of the job. You never feel like you're doing something that is out of alignment with your goals when you're choosing to move your body. And it's like a built-in motivation to stay connected to your body and keep yourself moving. It's one of my favorite aspects of being a professional dancer. And I really love that I get to do that because I know how hard it is on the body to sit in front of a screen all day. Right now, I've been doing a lot of that as I'm working on projects that are important to me and important to my dance career. And it's amazing how just, 5 days of going hard on long computer days staring at a screen, oh man, it affects my mood and my physical health so negatively. And I'm so glad that I have reason to, and also the ability to get up and move my body and incentive to move and work on dance and prioritize my technical training and choreographies that I'm working on, and to just turn on music and improvise. And I'm choosing to do that as a way to take breaks from other priorities and also to continue to prioritize my relationship with my dance and my relationship with my body. And there's always that motivation built in to keep moving your body because it's part of your job. Okay, the fourth pro that I can easily identify is that being creative is part of your job. Whether that's through, creating a new act for yourself, a new choreography, or envisioning a new costume, or wanting to work with a new prop, or like even just wanting to educate yourself. I consider like growing my knowledge base and learning new skills that add to my skill set as a dancer. Also, I consider that being creative too. So if you are a creative person who has ideas and wants to express yourself and be seen, this is such an awesome way to channel those desires. A lot of us feel depressed when we're not creating, when we're not having new ideas and bringing them into fruition. We feel stagnant, we feel sad, and it gives us vital life energy to be dreaming and crafting new ideas and experiences. The constant newness of this job of being a professional dancer is so dynamic. Things are always changing and you don't ever get bored. There's always a new dance to make, a new prop to work with, a new venue to perform at, new people to create with and build relationships with, new ways to experiment with moving your body and expressing yourself. You also get to follow your interest and your passions. You get to spend your time learning new skills that excite you. Like for me, when I started to add instrument elements to my dance, like finger cymbals and frame drum, it opened a whole new world that helped me fall in love with dance and life even more because I love learning and I love creating. And you might be excited to learn something new to add to your dance, like working with a veil or a sword or dancing to a new style of music. You get to learn and grow as a built-in part of your job, because you always want to be innovating, you always want to be growing. So it's super important to study with other dancers and to learn things that will help fuel your creative fires. Like that's essential to your job. So it's easy to prioritize those things because you're like, I need this in order to fuel my business and my hobby and my creative passion. Okay, and the final pro that I'm identifying today is that you get the warm, fuzzy feeling of having a positive impact on other people, whether that's through teaching, event production, performance, costume design, whatever activities are part of your unique business. You get to see the immediate reward of making people happy and helping to inspire them. It's something that a lot of us are missing from other kinds of work, a sense of personal fulfillment. And if you're lacking that sense of personal fulfillment right now, you know how valuable it is. You know how much that is worth to feel that what you do day in and day out is building toward having a positive impact on the people around you, the people you interact with, the world that you live in, the greater society. So this is one of the best parts. You get to see your labor and creativity making a positive difference on the people who get to interact with you and what you share. Whether that is because you're sharing yourself to people who don't see themselves reflected in other performers, maybe the way you represent to certain groups of people is just bringing them so much life and inspiration and invigoration, or whether it's because you're showing somebody something new that they've never seen before, or you're just taking a moment to remind people that it's worthwhile to move your body and to be in connection with your physical form. All of that is so important. Or whether you're helping a student grow and build their confidence and learn technical skills that are going to help them express themselves in a unique way for the rest of their life. Like, it is so rewarding. It's such rewarding work. Okay, now let's get into the cons. Con number one, you are in charge of your own time. That's right. This pro that I mentioned earlier can also be a con. So a lot of people think that they want this kind of life where they're in total control of their day-to-day tasks, and then they find out that it's actually way more difficult than they thought it would be. Waking up every day and you being the only person in charge of what your deadlines are, what your projects are, when you're going to do them, how you're going to do them, that is a big responsibility. You need strategies for making the most of an open calendar, for knowing what to focus on, for staying motivated in that focus and not burning yourself out, not like allowing yourself to go into harmful hyperfocus where you burn out all of your physical resources by, focusing on completing a task, and knowing which tasks are important to complete. So it's easy to get distracted with busy work that doesn't actually move the needle on your true goals. If you don't understand yourself and what conditions and motivations you personally need, then this can be very challenging. I've been in charge of my own time most of my adult working life, and I have developed super effective strategies for myself that I share inside the Cohesion Collective. I use the Getting Things Done system, and I share every single detail, my whole calendar, and lots of templates for how I organize my days as a creative entrepreneur, how I prioritize what needs to be done, how I get that stuff done, and how I also prioritize my health and body and relationships in the meantime. I also share ways to assess how you may be different than me and other ideas for ways that you can work with your own natural tendencies to get things done in an efficient and enjoyable way for you. We get tons of positive feedback from dancers on how much these strategies have helped them organize their time in creative projects. And it's one of the things I'm most proud of is the strategies and systems that I've developed for helping creative entrepreneurs get work done that moves the needle while also taking care of themselves and also enjoying the process. Okay, con number 2. When you work for yourself, you don't collect a regular paycheck like you do when you work for a company, for example. So the other side of this is that when you do work for yourself, your earning potential is not capped. There are always clever ways of earning more income. If you want a raise, you can go out and get one without having to appeal to your boss. It's in your hands, not someone else's. And that can feel empowering and exciting, and you're in control. But sometimes being responsible for generating your income can feel like a lot of pressure. That's why you need to have certain things in place so that you're able to withstand that pressure and continue to thrive under that pressure, or like even dissolve the pressure and just turn it into just a natural part of how you do your day and run your business. So some of the support systems that really help are having a savings. You need to have some money in savings so that you can withstand the ups and downs of running your own business. That's part of being a successful professional, is having some amount of cushion where you are saving for a rainy day, a slow month. It's normal for revenue to be lumpy, for you to earn more in some seasons and less in other seasons. There are busy times and there are less busy times for every belly dancer, no matter what aspect of professional belly dance they're focusing on. If you're 100% of the time gigging professional, then you know those holiday seasons that's when you need to be really earning lots of money so you can be saving it for the lower, slower seasons. So, having some amount of savings is key. Also, having low expenses or just being super aware of what your expenses are. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But it's really helpful to have, a grip on your expenses and to have the data of what you are spending money on related to your business and personal life, and what is necessary, where you can cut back, all that. So I do think that a pretty advanced budgeting system is super helpful. And I teach that in detail to all the dancers who work with me too. So another type of support system that you can have maybe family support. Maybe you have a partner who you live with or a roommate and they help you pay bills. You guys share your expenses and, that brings some peace of mind. Also, working an additional non-dance related job, either part-time or full-time. So it doesn't make you any less of a professional dancer if you also earn income in other industries. I know lots and lots of dancers who do that. And that can be a really, really smart way to supplement your creative career. So also, it's super helpful to have a library of ideas and effective strategies for bringing in revenue. We offer that inside the Cohesion Collective, and I will be going into that in detail, all these different ways that you can earn revenue as a professional dancer in my upcoming masterclass. So when you are accepted into the Cohesion Collective, if I think we're a good fit to work together, you're going to get access to that masterclass. And that's one of the details that we're going to be going into. There's also lots of bonus workshops inside of the Cohesion Collective where we talk about how to earn income as a belly dancer, how to get more gigs, how to effectively serve student studios and dance companies, all kinds of insider info on that. So I'll be giving lots of ideas about how I and dancers I've worked with over the years bring in consistent income. There's no one way to do that. There's actually a bunch of different ways, and usually people choose a couple of different methods at the same time in order to diversify their income streams and have a little bit of a cushion in that way too. So, diversifying where you get your income. Maybe you don't only gig, maybe you also, sell costumes that you create. Maybe you don't only gig, but you also produce really awesome events for your community or for, audience members, amazing shows. Maybe you teach, maybe you run a whole dance studio and you have an entire business related around running a commercial dance studio. There's lots and lots of different ways it can be done. Okay, now con number 3 is that as a self-employed person, there are no included benefits. You have to pay for your own health insurance and retirement. Depending on what country you live in, of course, everyone has a different situation. But this is often the thing that holds people back from quitting their job and going 100% full-time as a professional dancer. To that, I say, great choice. Being a part-time professional dancer does not make you any less of a serious dancer or a talented dancer. I know plenty of kick-ass, inspiring, incredibly talented, dedicated dancers who have full-time or part-time jobs in all kinds of other industries: science, tech, engineering, cybersecurity, massage, elder care, government jobs. The list goes on. If you or someone you love has a chronic illness or is going through medical treatments or for some other reason you need top-notch health insurance, and being able to get that insurance through your workplace gives you the practical support and peace of mind you need, that's excellent and something to be celebrated. So because I've been running my own creative business for the last 20 years, am very used to this situation of having to fund my own medical care and retirement. So while I do not have a benefactor or patron, there is no one else paying my bills. There never has been. No shade to people who do have those people in their life. I love that for you. I've never been in that scenario. I am fortunate enough, though, that working for myself does work for me. I have an extremely effective, strategic, and detailed accounting and budgeting system that I share with my students inside the Cohesion Collective. I make sure every dollar I bring in is apportioned accordingly to make sure I have enough to pay taxes, fund my retirement account, pay for health insurance, and have an emergency fund that I keep in a high interest earning savings account. I've geeked out super hard on, how I can ensure my own financial security, and I take great pleasure in sharing those tips and tricks with others. I never wonder if I'll have enough money because I use a digital envelope style budgeting system. So this is not the same as expense tracking, where you maybe have an Excel spreadsheet and you see what you spend. It's totally different than that. And it allows me to look ahead to see if I need to make adjustments with my expenses or my income. And I'm comfortable with this lifestyle because I'm empowered with data and information. Okay, I use accounting software to collect the actual real data that shows me which of my professional efforts are paying off and which ones are not. That way, I'm able to make informed decisions about where I put my energy. You can absolutely do this too if you don't already, and I would be happy to show you exactly how I do it. I found that even people with full-time non-dance jobs where they collect a regular paycheck most often need better budgeting skills. It would ease so much stress in their life. I know so many people who they're just in the dark about what their financial reality is. And I understand that there's fear around sitting down and putting the work in to figure out what that reality is and to make that data super real and visible. I do totally get that that can be a scary thing to do. I've been there before. And once I did make a shift to saying, okay, I really do want to know, I really want to be super clear about what's happening in my financial life. Oh my gosh, it brings me so much peace, so much inner peace. So regardless, no matter who you are listening to this, if you're a professional dancer or you work in a completely different industry, I wish you the inner peace that can be available by having real accounting information and a budgeting system in your life. Okay, now moving on to con number 4. Moving your body is a built-in part of your job. Okay, again, we have a pro I mentioned earlier in the pro category that can also be a con. So, if you have a disability or chronic illness that makes moving your body challenging some of the time, then that does affect your relationship with dance, especially if dance is the main way you earn income. However, I do know many, many part time and full time professional dancers with disabilities. Sometimes these are invisible disabilities, so you may not even be aware that some of your favorite dancers are disabled. The amount of care and attention that they need to give their bodies is elevated. That is a fact of their life. But lots of these dancers choose to dance anyway. Dance is what they love and what inspires them to take care of themselves and do the absolute most they can inside their particular bodies. Other kinds of jobs with less flexibility might be more damaging to their conditions. In some ways, disability is unavoidable for all of us. That is the ephemeral condition of being in a body that deteriorates over time. And please just remember this. You are the only one who can decide what you want to do with your own precious body, your one precious body. Don't ever let anyone push you beyond your limits. And don't ever let anyone else limit you. You are the ultimate authority on what it is like to be in your body and what your body needs. That's one reason why all the technique I teach inside the Cohesion Collective is adaptable to various levels, and why we have a heavy focus on safe, sustainable movement practices that are going to help you and anyone you work with who you can teach these movement practices to just have a working relationship with their body as long as they possibly can. Their fundamental principles on just how your skeletal system works and how to position your body so that you're not putting pressure on parts of your body that don't need that pressure put on them. How to recruit only the muscles that are necessary for a task without wasting your effort on other muscles that are not necessary for a task or that are going to harm you in the long run. So I believe that my approach to belly dance is a particularly gentle one. I highly value ease and neuromuscular efficiency over any kind of cardio, strength training, or flexibility training. Now, don't mishear me. I'm not saying that cardio is bad or that strength training is bad or that flexibility training is bad or unuseful. It's just not what we focus on inside of the Cohesion Collective, and that's something that you would supplement your training with on your own. The practices inside the collective to develop amazingly accurate, efficient technique so that you can bring your creativity to life through your body for as long as possible. These practices are gentle and adjustable to each person's varying energy levels and abilities. Now, they're not just easy. Simple is not necessarily easy. It's sometimes really difficult to learn. Oh, shoot. Okay. I have been positioning my body in this unharmful way for a while, and now I need to form new neuromuscular pathways so that I am treating and honoring my body and what it needs, whether I'm dancing, sitting, or walking, or doing tasks around the house or whatever. So these exercises focus on building excellent technique in a methodical, approachable way. We currently have members with chronic illnesses who are recovering from recent treatments, and the support inside is very effectively keeping us motivated and encouraged, even when our bodies need some extra love, care, and understanding. So, the fact that moving your body is a part of your job when you're a professional dancer, it can be a beautiful thing, and it can also be a challenging thing sometimes. And I just want to be real about that. Okay. So the fifth con, our last of the day, is that being creative is part of your job. So this is also a pro that I mentioned earlier, and it can be a con because some people, they don't want to know how the sausage is made, so to speak. So for example, I like being amazed by watching some things or experimenting with some things that I have zero refined awareness of. I enjoy visual art. I love film and movies and paintings. I have zero idea how a painting or a film is made. I like not applying my education and critical thinking to engaging with these art forms. I enjoy the ignorance is bliss kind of approach in these particular examples. That doesn't bother me that I don't understand the mechanics of what's happening in the film or the storytelling or like, the acting or the production or the color correction. Like, I don't know any of that stuff and I don't care. I still love watching movies. And I know too much about dance to engage with that in a similar way. So whether I'm watching a dance or I'm trying a new style or something, if I watch a dance, I'm reading the meaning. I'm seeing the choices that are being made. I'm taking in the context around those choices. I'm imagining how that movement would feel in my body. I'm seeing what muscles are motivating the movement. I'm aware of the skeletal alignment of the dancer. I'm getting ideas for things I want to try in my own dance. It's not the same experience as watching a movie is for me. I personally enjoy having insider knowledge that helps me appreciate dance in a deep way. The dancers who study with me also want that insider information. They want to be informed of the historical progression of belly dance over time and the cultural context around certain movements, music, etc. They want to know the tools for making a powerful choreography that's full of meaning, that will keep an audience engaged. They want to know strategies for a successful improvisation. They also want to know the subtle techniques that professional dancers are using to create a safe performance environment. It's amazing how subtle and invisible to others these very well-rehearsed techniques are to keep yourself safe while gigging, to create a positive classroom environment if you're teaching, how to prepare for a successful photo shoot. That's the nitty-gritty kind of info that's going to demystify belly dance that we teach inside of the Cohesion Collective. We demystify all the insider stuff with no stone left unturned. So if you enjoy the mystery of not knowing, of just moving and feeling your vibe and not wanting to apply a certain technical lens, not wanting to know historical cultural lens, not wanting to know choreographic composition, not wanting to know the strategy that goes into a successful improvisation, not wanting to know how people are getting such successful photo shoots, how they're finding the gigs, how they are protecting themselves when they're at the gigs. Like, if you don't want all that ruined for you, then it would not be a good choice to work with me, because I love breaking all that down in extreme detail. But if you do want to know the nitty gritty, practical, tactical methods that professional belly dancers are using to craft successful, creative careers, then the Cohesion Collective is definitely where you want to be. So being creative as part of your job, for some people, that's not going to be what they want to do. They want to keep their creativity mysterious and fun. And I mean, it's still fun when you make it a profession. I don't want to misspeak, but it's definitely different. It's just different. So it depends on what kind of relationship you want to have with your dance. So if you want to have that insider info, then you'll definitely want to attend my masterclass that's being released this Thursday, April 25th, all about what is working for part-time and full-time professional belly dancers now in 2024. So to get your free private invite to that masterclass, you do need to be accepted to the Cohesion Collective so that I know that you're going to make the most of this information, that you and I are a good fit to work together, and that I can actually help you achieve the goals that you have. So just go fill out your application really quickly. It only takes about 2 minutes. The more information you give me, the better. But just take whatever time you have to just do it quickly. And if we're fit to work together and I think I can help you reach your goals, then I'll be sending you an invite to the new masterclass, which happens in just a couple days. It's a recording. If you don't need to attend it live, you will be able to watch it on your own time for a few days. So don't let that worry you. Just go to fill out your application at thecohesioncollective.com. And I can't wait to see you inside and in the masterclass. So that's our topic for today. I would be very curious and interested to know what you would add to this list for you, what are the pros and cons of being a professional belly dancer? And also, if you have questions, like more questions about what I said here or something I left out, definitely let me know. And if there's something that you'd be interested to hear me cover, like if there's some information that you're really curious about, a topic that you'd like me to discuss, send me a DM and let me know, or an email and let me know. And I love to provide content and resources that are actually helpful to people on their creative paths. So the more you let me know what's helpful to you, the more I can serve you. Okay, it's been so great being here, sharing some information with you. I hope you feel inspired and encouraged, and I'll be talking to you soon.